You wake up, grab your phone, and before you've even sat up, you're already behind. Notifications, group chats. What time is the quiz? A random TikTok that turns into 10. You tell yourself, I'll just check for a minute. And somehow it's 10:47 a.m., you're still in bed and your brain feels like it ran a marathon without moving. And then you do the thing every student does. You panic. You open your laptop like you're starting a heist. 10 tabs. You make a to-do list with 17 tasks that all sound urgent. You promise yourself, today I'm locking in. But the day doesn't feel clean. It feels heavy. You start studying and it's like your mind has grease on it. You're reading but not absorbing. You're working but not progressing. You keep switching tasks because switching feels productive. And by evening, you're exhausted with almost nothing to show for it. So you blame yourself. You think you're lazy, undisciplined, not smart enough, not motivated enough. But I need you to hear this clearly. It's not you. It's your routine. And most student routines are built like a house made of paper. They collapse the moment real life shows up. So in this video, I'm going to give you the perfect daily routine for students, but not the Pinterest version. Not the wake up at a.m., cold shower, journal for 90 minutes, and do 3 hours of deep work before sunrise routine. I'm talking about the routine that actually works when you're tired, when you're busy, when you have classes, exams, friends, family, and a life. And here's the twist. You're probably doing it completely backwards. Because the best student routine isn't about waking up earlier. It's about protecting your brain's best hours and stopping your day from being hijacked. Let me tell you the problem with how most students structure their day. They wake up and immediately spend their most valuable mental energy on the least valuable tasks. They scroll, they react, they reply, they consume. And then later, when their brain is tired, they try to do the hardest thing, studying. It's like spending all your money on snacks and then acting surprised you can't pay rent. So the perfect daily routine is built on one rule: do your highest value work when your brain is at its best. And you don't need motivation for that. You need a system. I call it the student operating system. 3 phases: prime, grind, and reset. Prime is how you start the day, so your brain is online. Grind is how you study, so it actually sticks. Reset is how you finish the day, so tomorrow isn't painful. Let's build it. Phase 1, prime. This is where most students mess up because they think the morning routine is about being productive. No, it's about getting your brain into a stable state. You want calm, focus, not hype, not chaos. So the first 10 minutes after you wake up, no phone. I know, your brain is screaming, but what if someone needs me? They don't. And even if they do, they can wait 10 minutes while you become a functional human. Instead, do the simplest thing: stand up, drink water, and get sunlight in your eyes. Not in a complicated biohacker way. Just go near a window or step outside. This tells your body, we're awake. Start the engine. Now here's the key: you need a minimum viable morning. Something so easy you'll do it even on a bad day. Here's the minimum: water, wash face, make bed. 2 minutes of movement. That's it. Because your routine shouldn't break when life gets hard. It should hold you together. Now, once your body is awake, you do one thing that instantly separates high performers from stressed students. You plan the day in one sentence. One sentence, not a massive list. You ask, if I only do one meaningful thing today, what is it? Maybe it's finish the problem set, or draft the essay, or review chapters 4 and 5. That becomes your anchor task. Your day revolves around that. Because when you try to do everything, you do nothing. Okay, now we move to the best part. Phase 2, grind. This is where you become dangerous. This is where you stop being busy and start becoming effective. Here's what most students do: they study whenever they have time. That's cute. But what actually works is studying when you have energy. So you create a study block, ideally 60 to 90 minutes during your best hours. For most people, that's morning to early afternoon. And this block has one rule: no fake studying. Fake studying is reading notes while half scrolling, rewriting things to feel productive, highlighting everything, watching videos on 2x speed and calling it learning. Real studying is active. It's the stuff that feels slightly uncomfortable because it forces your brain to retrieve information. So your study block is built like this. First 5 minutes, set the mission. Literally write, by the end of this block, I will be able to, and finish the sentence. For example, by the end of this block, I can explain photosynthesis without looking. Or I can solve 10 questions on derivatives. Next 45 to 60 minutes, active recall. Close the notes. Test yourself. Do practice questions. Explain it out loud like you're teaching a 12-year-old. Because if you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it. Then 10 minutes, fix the gaps. Only now do you look at notes not to rewrite them, but to patch what you missed. And then final 5 minutes, write a tiny summary. 3 bullets, max. That's your brain locking it in. Now let's talk about the thing that's secretly ruining your routine, switching. Every time you switch from studying to checking messages, your brain pays a tax. And the more you switch, the more tired you feel. So during your study block, you use the simplest anti-distraction tool. Your phone goes in another room, not on the table, not face down, not on silent next to you like a little demon. Another room. Because discipline is easier when temptation isn't within arm's reach. Now, once you finish your study block, you don't immediately go back to scrolling. You reward yourself properly. You take a real break, a walk, a snack, stretching, a quick chat with a friend, something that actually resets your brain. Because if you break by consuming more content, you didn't rest, you just overloaded. Okay, now phase 3, reset. This is where students sabotage their entire week without realizing it. Because nights decide mornings. If your night is chaos, your next day starts broken. So the reset phase is about closing the day cleanly. And it starts with something that feels almost too simple, a shutdown ritual. You choose a time, let's say 9:30 p.m. where you stop starting new things. No starting new assignments. No new YouTube rabbit holes. No one more episode. Instead, you do a quick review. What did I do today? What am I doing tomorrow? What's one thing I can do to make tomorrow easier? Then you set up your environment. Laptop closed. Study materials ready. Clothes ready. Bag ready. Because future you is your teammate, not your enemy. And then you protect sleep like it's your GPA. Because it kind of is. Sleep isn't optional. It's the multiplier. If you sleep well, you learn faster, you remember more, you feel less anxious, and you make better decisions. If you sleep badly, everything feels harder. Now, let me give you the real secret. The perfect daily routine isn't a schedule. It's a rhythm. A rhythm that works even on your worst days. So here's the simplest version you can follow starting tomorrow. Wake up. No phone for 10 minutes. Water and light. Pick one anchor task. Do one study block with active recall. Take a real break. Do your classes and life stuff. End the day with a shutdown ritual. Sleep. That's it. And if you're thinking, this sounds too simple, good. Simple is sustainable. Sustainable is what wins. Because you don't need a routine that looks impressive. You need a routine that you can actually do on a random Tuesday when you're stressed, behind, and tired. Now here's your challenge. Tomorrow morning, do the first 10 minutes without your phone, pick your anchor task. And do one study block, just one. Then come back and comment, locked in. Not because comments matter, but because making a commitment publicly makes it real. And if you want, I'll make a part 2 where I show you how to build this routine around your exact class schedule like an actual template you can copy. But for now, remember, you're not lazy. You're just running the wrong system. Fix the system and the results follow.